Okay, hello. Sound check. Okay, hello. Sound check. So today another Mosquito practice session. Almost 2 weeks I didn't practice, maybe 3 weeks. So let's all set up, I think, yes. Let's start. That's gonna be, I think, about hour and a half or maybe 2 hours practice session. Not very long stream, I think. And tomorrow we'll see. Tomorrow probably it's gonna be, I don't know, even with Mosquito it's very hard for me to find any panzers, armor units on multiplayer servers, so I am okay with practicing on Mosquito, but in terms of some combat missions, that's quite hard to play. So I'm thinking about starting my aerial targets hunting program, mission program. I mean fighter pilot, fighter planes, and I'm thinking about P-38, great American build twin engine fighter, Kabelschwanzteufel or something like that Germans used to call that great fighter plane. I like it very much. So P-38 is quite popular, you can find it on almost on any live multiplayer server. So maybe, I don't know for sure yet, but maybe tomorrow I gonna start practicing on P-38. So next, as usual, I gonna practice taxiing, no brakes, differential power taxiing, and P-38 taxiing is gonna be much more easier than on Mosquito, much more convenient. But I think even on Mosquito I'm quite comfortable on grassy or gravel surfaces lately. So just as I have predicted earlier, it was just a matter of time, of period, matter of time that passed from the beginning of training process. What can I say for now? I can feel very clearly I'm rusty. 2 or 3 weeks I didn't practice taxiing and takeoff circuit and landing, so I can feel it right now. I'm not very agile in my differential power controlling. You can see that. I'm lagging with that switching from right to left and from left to right differential power. But I think that's permanent, and I just need to refresh my skills a bit. I think the general power level is okay. I'm just need to be more agile, more quick with that differential power, switching from left to right and from right to left. And of course that S-turning pattern is quite wide, so I would like it to be a bit narrower, but more or less okay with that taxiing on grassy surfaces. That was a right circle. I need to constantly watch constantly feel, constant assessment of left and right engine RPMs. I'm using differential power to steer and to try and do some S-turning. That was too much. I'm using only buttons, no 2 levers for me. That was too much. That was clear and present error. So I think next about 30 minutes gonna be very boring to watch, because I'm gonna practice taxiing full circle on a grass surface around airfield and then I'm gonna switch to the asphalt surface immediately circle. That power was too much for asphalt. That's why I hate that rolling drag on asphalt and concrete. Probably it's too much, too low, I'm sorry. So 1400 RPM to start moving on grassy surface, and then about 11.500 RPM average engine power, and about 1.5 or 2.500 RPM differential power. She's turning right much more easier than to the left. What would you say about that taxiing speed? Is it enough? Is it too slow? I would say that's enough. But sometimes somebody can find that slow. Almost 1200 RPM. That shouldn't be too slow. Let's say that's 12.500 RPM. That's gonna be too much, I think. That's definitely gonna be too much. I hate that concrete or asphalt surfaces. She's accelerating immediately. Just like I've got absolutely concrete tires. With the smallest patch, contact patch. Not flexy at all. Real tires, they're flexible. struggling, as you can see, struggling. But anyway, you just need to practice at least once a week. So what can I do if I didn't practice more than 2 weeks? I shouldn't be any good after such a break. Oh, that's okay. 1200.2, I think. 0.1.2 RPM average engine power. Of course, manifold pressure gauge isn't working with such a low power, such a low engine power. But you can use RPM indicator. You just need to feel the tail wheel behavior when it's angling left or right. You just need to feel it and immediately prevent tail wheel deflect too much with your countermeasure opposite differential power. That's quite a tricky task. You need quite a skill for that. And on that stupid asphalt tarmac, it's almost impossible. I've got full right differential power. Some reason she wouldn't stop. I hate that asphalt and tarmac surfaces. rolling jack is too low on them, but grip on that on main wheels, on tail wheel, grip is enormous. Grip is too much. Thanks God we got no such grip on a gravel or grassy surfaces. I almost hate that Mosquito because of her taxiing behavior, but I know that's only me. I call it the absence of operational readiness. Skills should be sharp. They are rusty. You need practicing to make them sharp. As you can see, she's turning right much more easier than to the left, but that can catch you unaware when tail wheel deflects too much. I was forced to apply brakes to stop her from circling. So no good taxiing for me today. But anyway, I do not give up Mosquito training program. I will proceed. Mosquito, she is great, she deserves attention, but just as I said previously, even on Mosquito, even targeting German panzers, not too much multiplayer gameplay you've got. For example, let's just say I gonna find that enemy tank column or position, then I gonna need to suppress enemy triple A units. So for that I gonna need to make first sortie on some other airplane to suppress that flak units, and only after that I'm gonna need to fly Mosquito to destroy those tanks with my Molins gun, 57mm Molins gun. That would be quite a task for me. Not very convenient, I must say. But the only thing which you can always do on any multiplayer server is aerial targets hunting. Not on this type of servers, that's a training server, but on finish, on combat, on any other server. Some reason that combat box very rarely gives you P40. Some reason almost all multiplayer servers do not give you opportunity to find and destroy enemy vehicle convoy. Of course, I understand that game's limitations. But once again, 10 years ago on Il-2 1946, on multiplayer we had, let's say, 4 or 5 big vehicle convoys, and each that convoy could have about 70 or even 100 vehicles in 10 years passed, not 1 year, not 2 years, 10 years after that, and 20 years after those Il-2 Forgotten Battles released. We still has got such a poor, inconvenient, outdated games limitations in this game. Is it acceptable? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. For my knowledge, those trucks, vehicles, convoys were, I think, 75–80% of all combat missions of tactical aviation groups. Trains and vehicle columns were main target. Aerial dogfight, bombing, strafing, front line, that was much less, that those tasks had much less flight time than real logistics targeting. That's why that wasn't my plan, but to have any combat experience, I just need to switch to aerial targets hunting. That's a type of mission I can afford myself being a single airplane. I don't know, some reason it's quite hard for me to perform taxiing today. I don't know why. I had a pretty much good sleeping. I'm not so tired. Probably that was those 2 or 3 weeks of 2-3 weeks break in my training process. Okay, grassy surface wasn't any good. Now let's try that asphalt. Asphalt surface requires much less power. I've got left circling and the now I've just touched with gravel with my right main wheel, and that immediately stopped her from circling left. That's how different rolling drag on a gravel surface and asphalt tarmac. I really do not believe that was the case in real life. If my tires are completely concrete, if they got zero patch, they do not flex, that would be the case. Look, I'm just not able to turn left with 200 RPM differential power left. I'm just not able to turn left. Can you believe that's realistic? I've touched the gravel with my left, wheel, so now I'm not gonna be able to turn right. Or that turning is gonna be too violent. I need 1100 RPM to start moving on an asphalt surface. Well, that's us. That this taxi runway is quite wide. It's not narrow, but even on this quite wide taxi runway, that's pain and suffering to try and taxi without using brake and with only differential power, because such a difference between rolling jack on asphalt tarmac and gravel surface. Even when I'm stationary, it's different. That shouldn't be like that. But I must say, as far as I remember, I was okay in that part of that technique some 3 weeks ago. So that's not a game, that's my errors. I'm not able to turn left, just not able. They consider asphalt tarmac is above grassy surface and gravel surface. That's also wrong. Asphalt would be lower. Look at this, I'm just not able to turn left. And when you turn left, it's too much, you just need too much differential power. And when my right wheel touches asphalt, the differential power becomes too much and you circle immediately. So I use no S-turning asphalt tarmac taxiing, because any S-turning on Mosquito with no brakes, just one more time I just touched that stupid gravel surface. And once again, pain and suffering trying to get yourself back on an asphalt. That's unbelievable. I'm reducing power and she's turning right. Why? Okay, okay, I can accept that. That's physics. I'm reducing power and she starts turning right. Why? I know she's turning right much more easier than to the left, but I thought that was because of propeller rotation. Both engine rotates clockwise, probably, or so they rotate same direction. That's why you can assume that causes much easier right turning than left turning. That's clear. But why she's turning right when I'm reducing power? Just to taxi straight, you need a little bit right differential power, I think 50-60 RPMs. That's what I've been talking about. Just to taxi straight ahead, no turning. But that average power was too much, Average 930 or 40 is 30 is too little, and 970 is too much. So how low that asphalt tarmac rolling drag value? No, that's unplayable. That's just unplayable. immediately circling, just immediately. That's a mystery for me, why she's turning right so violently. You've got a little bit less power than you need and she's not turning. A little bit more and she's turning so hard. You're not able to stop that circling. That's unplayable. Now look. This airplane you should avoid very high direction change angle. Very high direction change speed. you should avoid that. So everything should be slow. When it's slow, you've got chance to control her. Oh, that's too much. Too much. That's too much. I hate that keypad. Throttle controlling. It's too slow. Okay, let's turn left without using brakes, without loop. Let's turn left, staying stationary. circling. That was inevitable. Circling, too much taxiing speed. So enough taxiing, I think. Okay, a little bit to the left, heading 060, a little bit more to the left. It's about our watches. Okay, moving on start position, using brakes, of course. Or it's gonna be impossible. That's not 5150. Anyway, start. Wait until it's 140 miles per hour, then take off. RPM down to 2700 RPM. Wait until she's accelerated 185 and then pull up. She is stabilized. Yeah, she's stabilized. Okay. Oh no, I forgot to reduce power. That was my mistake. It's 3.5 more, a little bit less than 3.5 inches. Manifold pressure, quite tricky for me to fine tune that. And my climbing is almost over. Soon I'm gonna start transitioning into straight and level. Okay, transition into straight and level. Trimming down, RPM down to 2400 RPM, trim down a little bit more on 25%, she's pitching nose down, accelerating, and when it's to 10, I reduce manifold pressure a little bit less than 0, and that's okay. A little bit aileron trim adjusting, rudder trim to maintain heading, and she's stabilized. Look at that vertical speed indicator. It's not stationary. Yes, I'm not stabilized yet. I need to make it a little bit more aileron trim. What's wrong? Oh, I know what's wrong. My aileron trim doesn't work. Welcome to Great Battles. I need to fix it. I gonna stabilize her with rudder trim, not to crush when I hate it. I just hate it. So is it gonna work? Yes, it's working. Bingo! I need to my assessment was very wrong. I need to rewind that. Oh. So now it's gonna be okay. Beautiful stabilized airplane, but as you can see, my airspeed isn't enough, insufficient a bit, and I'm not able to I've made very small correction. Let's turn right this time. Or left, let's turn left. No. Oh, some extra power I need. I've lost altitude, so I'm gonna climb a little bit. She's losing, no. That Mosquito, I just love it. Mosquito is good, Mosquito is good. What can you do with taxiing? You just need to apply brakes, that gauge, brakes gauge, I can assume that gauge was necessary. This great airplane had some weak points, and taxiing was one of those. Okay, once again, turning left. I do not watch my stop go. Watch. I'm trying to maintain constant 15 degrees bank angle and 0 vertical airspeed. And my heading is gonna be 330. Throttling back. I don't need excessive airspeed. And leveling up. So, as you can see, I've got that excessive airspeed. Power is a little bit too much. Now it's a little bit not enough. I need airspeed about 204 miles per hour indicated, or she's gonna lose altitude. It's okay. So, straight and level is more or less okay. Let's try transitioning into wheels down, flaps down, descending, and then into climbing attitude. Okay, wheels down, throttle back and forward a bit. RPM maximum. Pull up. Not letting her losing altitude. Elevator trim up to almost maximum. Pull up, pull up. Wait until she is slowing down to 140 miles per hour and adjust flaps down and nose down and RPM a little bit forward, throttle a little bit forward. She's stabilized. Yes, she is. I didn't close any heading. I think she's stabilized. And I need to go up flaps half up, RPM down to flaps full up, trim down to 50%, accelerating, and throttle back, lock. My climbing altitude is too bad. She's not stabilized. Why? Oh, I know why. My RPM isn't enough. 2700 RPM I need. And transitioning into straight and level. Elevator trim down, RPM down to 2400 RPM. Elevator trim down to 1/4. She's accelerating and power down to 0. My altitude is too much. Just as usual, I'm gonna get myself into the approach straight, make overhead brake pattern, and final approach and landing. No second circle for me today. Where is that small tiny lake? I can see it. I even don't need any map. I remember this. Look at this, look at this. Absolutely straight and level, absolutely stabilized. I love it, but heading, I need to adjust heading, small correction to the left. Oh, it's not quite straight and level. A little bit RPM up. I need that to be 2400 RPM, not 23.7. quite okay. And turning left. I will not apply any extra power, additional power, because as you can see I've got 2000 feet altitude. It's a little bit too much. I need 1900 feet. Of course I can afford myself that's within margin. I've got 2000 feet, but I want to be as precise as it possible for good landing. That's training today that's gonna be useful in combat. So without excessive power while turning, you can lose some altitude without gaining any excessive airspeed. You're not able to see that pond, but that's a very fine weather, clear skies, and that Lyndhurst I think I can see, or maybe not. Yes, I can see it. Not now, a little bit waiting, just a little bit more. And I can see almost my airfield and landing strip, and now I'm turning left once again without any additional power. So I'm letting her lose altitude a bit, but not too much, so she do not gain too much airspeed. I don't need excessive airspeed. That will cause her unbalanced after completing this left 15 degrees bank angle turn. 90 degrees heading left turn. I can see my landing strip. I'm quite okay. I'm quite okay. I think I will not need any corrections at all. So I'm gonna approach airfield, being to the right side of a landing strip. So I'm gonna see how it's that landing strip edge will touch the imaginable line between engine nose and cockpit. Or maybe I should move to the left a little bit. Yes, shifting left a little bit. Not too much, I think. Altitude is absolutely fine. She's more or less stabilized. I'm turning left with very small bank angle. gonna need turn right. Okay, maybe I'm too far to the right. Maybe not. No, I'm absolutely fine. And let's start. The runway H just touched my canopy column. What was that? I don't need any climbing. That was my mistake. Let's lose some altitude. Okay, my ranges. I think I'm a little bit close, maybe not. Let's wait and see. I've got 90 degrees more to turn left. Your altitude is okay. Airspeed a little bit less than I need. I'm sorry, power. And I'm ready to start transitioning into wheels down, flaps down, descending, stabilize descending attitude. When it's 240 heading, I'm gonna start that transition. So I'm okay with ranging, absolutely fine, I think. Anyway, you need to watch it to make yourself familiar with a good ranging on this airplane. Each airplane is gonna have its own good ranging. Flat, wheels down, throttle back and forward a little bit, RPM forward, banking left, stick up, up, elevator trim up, not letting her lose altitude. Banking left, not letting her lose altitude, let her lose her airspeed. That was my error. And flaps down, nose down. And power a little bit forward. I've got excessive airspeed. That was another error. Okay, we're stabilized. A little bit more trim. I think I'm okay. I'm okay with my glide slope. A little bit lower than I need, but that's okay. I'm gonna have normal touchdown, not close touchdown. That's fine, absolutely fine approach. And landing. That was a very, very, very bad touchdown. Very bad touchdown. So I'm rusty. I need to practice a little bit more and start applying brakes, not to have any problems, any circling. I'm not able to see anything ahead of me. Okay, I've just adjusted my track IR settings, flaps up, clearing the runway, and let's try once again. Differential power, no brakes. Taxi. Once again, it's gonna be pain and suffering. That's too slow. I need to increase manifold pressure a little bit. I will not be able to watch. Oh. I've touched the ground with my right main wheel, and that's it, unplayable at all. So now I'm almost certain they've got some mistake with tire flexibility. Maybe they've got completely concrete tires. If my tires are completely concrete, that would be the same as just as in the game. I would have much less rolling drag on concrete and asphalt tarmac, because they are also concrete. So I will have almost zero patch surfaces. That's why rolling drag is gonna be very small, but real tires, they are flexible. They shouldn't be concrete. So they've got almost the same contact patch on asphalt surface and on grassy surface. just look at her. She's not turning, and then suddenly, hard, violent left turn. But once again and once again, 3 weeks ago I had that taxiing almost under control. Things with those taxiing was almost under control, so that's not wrong physics, that's me absolutely unplayable. Absolutely unplayable. And grassy surface, you can afford yourself, you can manage it only because you need more power. Can you imagine that? And each small overpower or underpower value doesn't give you so much headache, because it's just lower percentage of main power. No, I'm taxiing okay, it's okay. Taxiing speed is okay. She doesn't turn left. Why she doesn't turn left? She doesn't turn left, and next moment she's turning left violently, very hard left. Once again, she doesn't turn left. I'm gonna touch the grass with my right main wheel. That's unplayable. That's a great airplane, Mosquito, but those taxi, you can perform normal taxiing only with brakes, I can tolerate that Mosquito's taxiing behavior, but who else gonna tolerate that? Unfortunately, I must admit that's unplayable. It's too hard, too complicated. let's watch. I'm touching. This runway, taxi runway, is quite wide. I'm really tired of touching the grass with my right wheel. I'm really tired of that. Once again, she's not turning left. Why? I have applied almost 100 left differential power. Why she's turning right? I'm gonna apply 200 and she's gonna start turning left too hard. Just like that. Now I'm touching the gravel with my left main wheel. totally unplayable. Such a low taxiing speed, you can make it under control. You can make things under control with such a low taxiing speed. It's not massively low, but still, I would say not enough. Okay, grassy surface taxiing, I would say would be okay. Once again, she's not turning left at all. Or taxi, grassy surface taxiing is quite okay. Easy. Now let's park ourselves next to that airplane over there. No, I'm quite okay with grassy surface taxiing. Grassy surface is okay. I don't know why. Maybe I gave myself a little bit training and now I'm not so rusty. That's positive. Grassy surface is okay. I can taxi pretty much very well. Let's park ourselves right over here, right next to that beautiful B-25. B-25. Oh, let's say that engine's off. That B-25 is gonna have, you can see those wings. That B-25 is gonna have very poor heading stability, I would say. Or maybe not, because your wings should be angled up a little bit, like on those fighter planes, like on this. They're curved up a little bit. That's important for maintaining heading. So let's check Mosquito. Mosquito is quite okay with that. Not the best. Best gonna be P-51, I think. And Wildcat and Hellcat. And as you can see, Mosquito is also has got wings angled up. That's important for be stable on for not losing your heading. And 820, when she's stabilized, 820 is awful. She's losing heading like hell, unfortunately. That's because of that wing shape. So okay, thank you all for watching. That's all for today, and tomorrow we'll see if probably historical Il-2 will not be available. Tomorrow I'm planning maybe some research and development mission on P-38, great fighter airplane once again, because I just need to give myself some combat experience. No combat experience on P-40 for me, because P-40 isn't available on combat box almost always. And great Server Finnish has got P-40, but terrible turbulence, unplayable. You cannot stabilize the airplane. It just goes up and down all the time. I am okay with banking left and right, that's okay, but why she's going up and going down all the time, that's unplayable, uncomfortable. So, and Finnish doesn't give you vehicle convoys, unfortunately. Combat box, I've got no absolutely experience on combat box, but still almost never you can find P-40 on that server. So I need some combat practice, not only training all the time. So I'm gonna need to start aerial hunting, aerial targets hunting, so fighter pilot mission program. And my beautiful P-38 is gonna help me to survive those missions. So thank you all for today. That's it, and goodbye.